Hi, everyone. I want to thank Cynthia and John and Weaponization Watch. This has been an incredible day. I'm the owner and CEO of a spiritual organization named One Taste, which I think you heard about today. Both the founder and the director of sales, Nicole Dadone and Rachel Cherwitz, are currently facing 24 to 30 years in prison for teaching a meditation practice that changed my life. Tens of thousands of people came into One Taste and had incredible experiences, and multiple scientists studied the practice and saw that it could heal trauma. But because we teach about female power, and because we teach a practice that involves sexuality, and because we say that women are not inherently victims, and that challenging circumstances can make you a more resilient individual in the world, woke Me Too prosecutors attacked my friends and convicted them, and they currently have been incarcerated for the past 7 months in Brooklyn. They bent every rule in the book to put them in prison no matter what. And so I'll give you a couple, and many of these, everyone in the room, I think, with the has had a case. We met Doug Mackey, I think, over a year ago, who actually introduced us to Cynthia. And he was one of the first conspiracy cases that we'd encountered the same as ours. So the DOJ charged them with forced labor conspiracy, which, again, no underlying crime. It's a victimless crime. The prosecutors, I think you heard One Taste and Nicole's attorney, John, talk about the Trafficking Victims Protection Act and how it's being used far beyond its scope in this case and in others. And with our case especially, they've taken what are these salacious allegations and they've used it to distract from the fact that it's an unconstitutional use of the statute. Each witness that testified in our case, there were 9 of them, you heard from John, all talked about basically regretting their experience 10 years later. And then the government is calling that trafficking. 5 months before the indictment of Nicole and Rachel, Netflix put out a true crime movie using a fabricated diary read aloud by a government witness that was created in collaboration with the film's producer. And 18 months later, the prosecutors had to admit that the evidence was fake and dropped it. But the case continued on and they went to trial. The lead case agent used stolen attorney-client privilege information, mishandled evidence, and encouraged witnesses to destroy chain of custody. We've been debanked over 73 times from 21 institutions, including employees of mine, their own family members. Someone's mother was debanked from her personal account. 2 witnesses came forward during the process saying they were pressured by the FBI into saying that they were victims. One of the defendants, Rachel, who refused to turn victim, was arrested at gunpoint at 7 a.m. at the place where she lived in Northern California with 10 SUVs and helicopters. And so now my 2 friends who you heard today have been sitting in prison for 7 months because we chose to fight back and have been willing to bring these tactics to life. When I first bought One Taste in 2017, before the hit pieces, before the media, before the FBI probe, before the 5-year investigation, I would have never imagined this was possible. And since I've met Cynthia and everyone in this room, I've learned how every case, it's all the same tactics. I want to thank John Lauro. He was the first one who saw that this was a case of an ideological weaponization and was able to hear what we were actually saying. And Cynthia, who is a rare, rare person in the world, who really fights for the people. And there's no one out there that I've seen. And she made a commitment that she would stand with every single person until there's justice. And I and my team have made a similar commitment. So it's not enough just for Nicole and Rachel to get out, but there has to be a change that we have in the system. Thank you.